Be me, Mark, 30 years old, tech consultant. Not ugly, not a model, just a guy with a decent career and a decent life. I was working in Singapore back then, figured I'd be single for a while. The expat dating scene was brutal if you weren't 6 foot something making executive money. Then I met her. Networking event at some rooftop bar in Marina Bay. Overpriced cocktails, corporate small talk, the usual. I was nursing a beer when she walked in. I'm not exaggerating when I say every conversation in that room paused. Lena, 27, Filipino, working in hotel management. Long dark hair that caught the light. This effortless way of moving that made you feel like you were watching something choreographed. The kind of beautiful that makes you assume she's out of your league before you even try. She was there with a co-worker, but somehow ended up at the bar next to me. I made some dumb joke about the drink prices, something about needing a mortgage for a gin and tonic. She laughed. Not the polite networking chuckle, but an actual laugh. We talked for 2 hours. She asked questions, made eye contact, touched my arm when she was making a point. At the end of the night, she asked for my number. I kept waiting for the catch. The first time we slept together, about a week later, I remember lying there afterward thinking, this doesn't happen to guys like me. She was incredible, enthusiastic in a way that made me feel like she actually wanted me, not just tolerated me. She'd initiate randomly, text me in the middle of the day, show up at my apartment with that look. My buddies back in Melbourne saw the Instagram photos I started posting. Messages flooded in. Mate, how did you manage that? Even my dad, who never comments on this stuff, saw her on a video call and after she left the room said, "Son, don't mess this up." The next 8 months were like something out of a movie. Weekend trips to Bali where we'd barely leave the hotel room. Late nights at hawker centres. Her teaching me Tagalog words I'd immediately forget. She'd grab my hand walking down Orchard Road, post couple photos with captions like, "My favourite person," and "So grateful for this man." I ignored the small things. How she'd go quiet when I talked about work stuff that bored her. How she was warmer in public than in private. How she'd casually mentioned laughing that I'd totally outkicked my coverage. One night after dinner with friends, tipsy on wine, she said it again. "You know you're punching above your weight, right?" Our friends laughed. I laughed, but it sat wrong somehow. Around month 8, she started talking about Australia, how Singapore's work culture was draining her, how she'd always dreamed of Melbourne, the opportunities there. I mentioned I was planning to move back anyway. My company had a Melbourne office, better career trajectory. She got thoughtful. Then, one night over dinner, "What happens to us if you leave?" The implication hung there. "Come with me," I said. "It's not that simple. Work visas are nearly impossible unless you're in tech or healthcare." A month later, I proposed. Told myself it was because I loved her, and I did. Told myself the visa thing was just logistics, not the reason. Small ceremony, just close friends. Her family on Zoom from Manila, crying happy tears. The paperwork went in immediately. Temporary spouse visa application, me as sponsor. We arrived in Melbourne 6 months later. Those first few months were the best of my life. She was grateful, constantly. "I can't believe you did this for me." She'd bring me coffee in bed, initiate sex at random times, once in the middle of a Sunday afternoon while I was trying to read, just climbed into my lap with this smile. There was this thing she'd do, trace patterns on my chest while we talked after. Felt like she was memorizing me. I thought that meant something. My mom visited at month 3, pulled me aside in the kitchen. "She's wonderful, Mark. You're very lucky." I knew. Everyone kept reminding me. The visa application took forever. She was anxious, checked the portal every day. I'd reassure her. It's going to be fine. We're married. They can see it's real. Even during the waiting period, she was still affectionate. We'd cook together. She'd put on music and dance in the kitchen while I chopped vegetables. Sex was regular. Good. The kind where you both fall asleep after feeling lucky. I ignored the tiny red flags. How she'd be on her phone constantly, scrolling, half present. How she was slightly sweeter when we were around other people than when we were alone. How she'd casually mention how lucky I was that she chose me, like it was just a fact. Month 18. The email came through. Subclass 820 partner visa. Approved. Valid for 2 years. She screamed, called her family, posted on Instagram, Australian Dream Unlocked, with a photo of us I didn't remember her taking. She hugged me. Thank you for making this possible. Not, thank you for loving me. Not, I'm so glad we're building a life together. Thank you for making this possible. I remember that exact phrase. At the time, I thought I was reading too much into it. About a month after the visa approval, Lena said she wanted to join a gym. I've been feeling sluggish, need to get back in shape. I paid for the membership, one of those boutique places in Fitzroy, $80 a week. She started going religiously, came home talking about this woman Rachel. Rachel's amazing. She's 34, just got divorced, works in marketing. She's so empowered now. Empowered. That word started showing up a lot. Rachel introduced Lena to her circle. 3 other women, mix of divorced and perpetually single. Sunday brunches started. Lena would come back energized but different, using phrases she'd never used before. You know, I've been doing a lot of emotional labor in this relationship. I need you to step up more. Stop expecting me to manage the household. I'd look at our shared chore chart on the fridge. We split everything 50-50. I'd think about the date nights I planned every week. Didn't say anything. Didn't want to seem defensive. Sex started becoming less frequent, from 3-4 times a week to once. Then every 2 weeks. When I'd try to initiate, she'd sigh, "I'm tired, Mark." But she wasn't too tired to go out with Rachel's crew 3 nights a week. One night, I'd planned a whole date. Nice restaurant in South Bank. Wine. Thought maybe we'd reconnect. She was on her phone the entire time, texting the group chat, half smiling at whatever Rachel was saying. In bed that night, I tried to kiss her. She pulled back. "I'm not in the mood." "We haven't. It's been a while." "Are you seriously keeping track?" "No, I just miss you." She rolled over. "That sounds like a you problem." Month 23. Rachel hosted dinner at her townhouse. Modern place, expensive wine, charcuterie board that probably cost more than our weekly groceries. The other couples, Emma and her boyfriend Tom, who looked dead behind the eyes, Jess and her girlfriend. After the second bottle of wine, the conversation turned to relationships. Rachel, loud. Lena was just telling us how Mark here doesn't really get feminism. Everyone looked at me. I tried to laugh it off. Lena cut me off. "He thinks doing the dishes earns him a medal." Laughter around the table. Emma. "God, men are so low effort now. They want applause for bare minimum." Lena, looking directly at me. "Tell me about it." More laughter. Rachel's eyes were sharp, enjoying this, testing how much Lena would go along with. Lena passed the test. I felt myself getting smaller in that chair. Wanted to defend myself, but knew that would make it worse. So I just sat there, shrinking, while the woman I married performed for her new friends. I'd never felt more alone in a room full of people. Month 24, we were eligible to apply for permanent residency. Lena filled out the application, gathered all our old photos from Singapore, joint bank statements, the marriage certificate. "This is basically a formality," she said. "We're married. It's automatic." She submitted it. Confirmation email said processing time. 4 to 6 months, on 1 week later. Friday night. I was on the couch, watching something forgettable. She was next to me, scrolling Instagram. I shifted closer, put my arm around her. Not even sexual, just wanting connection. She pulled away. Hard. "Mark, we need to talk about boundaries." I sat up. "Okay." She'd clearly rehearsed this. "I don't owe you sex. My body, my choice. I need you to respect that I'm not always going to be available physically." I wasn't trying to... It's not just about sex. It's about you assuming you have access to my body. I stared at her. Lena, I was trying to cuddle, and I don't want to be touched right now. That's my right. Her phone buzzed. Rachel's name lit up the screen. She grabbed it immediately, walked to the bedroom. I could hear her through the door. Yeah, I told him. I know, it was so hard. No, he's being weird about it, as expected. I sat there on the couch. That week, we'd had sex 0 times. The week before, 0. Before that, once. And she'd just laid there like she was doing me a favor. Now she was putting a formal ban on it. After I'd married her, sponsored her visa, built a life with her. The phrase kept looping in my head. I don't owe you sex. Technically true, but Jesus Christ. I tried to make sense of it for the first week. Maybe she was depressed, stressed. I suggested therapy, couples therapy, individual, whatever she needed. She rolled her eyes. You're making this a way bigger deal than it is. I literally just asked for some space. But it wasn't space. Space would be, not tonight, I'm tired. This was a categorical ban. And she wasn't distant from her phone, constantly on the group chat, laughing at memes, typing away. I started noticing patterns. She'd recoil if I touched her shoulder in passing. But that same week, she posted a throwback photo from Singapore. Us at some beach. Her kissing my cheek. Caption, grateful for this man. 340 likes. Comments, you guys are goals. Beautiful couple. At home, separate rooms. On Instagram, perfect couple. I suggested date night. She sighed. Do we have to? I'm tired. She went out with Rachel's crew 3 times that week. Night 10. I came home early from the gym. She was in the living room on FaceTime. Didn't hear me come in. Rachel's voice, loud through the speaker. Men need to earn access, babe. You're too hot to be giving it away for free. Lena, giggling. I know, right? I just feel guilty sometimes. Another voice. Emma. Don't. You hold all the cards. If he's not stepping up, why reward mediocrity? Lena. You're so right. God, I wish I'd met you guys years ago. Rachel. Train them young, I always say. Men are like dogs. Reward good behavior, ignore bad behavior. Laughter. I stood in the hallway, gym bag still on my shoulder. Train them. Like dogs. I walked quietly to the spare room. She never knew I'd heard. That weekend, she was at brunch. I sat at my laptop with coffee, opened our old message thread from Singapore. Started reading chronologically. Month 2, her. So what's your long-term plan? Career-wise? Do you see yourself staying in Singapore? Month 5. My friend was telling me about Australian visas. Partner visas are apparently the easiest, but obviously, I'm not bringing it up for that reason, LOL. Month 7, after I mentioned missing Melbourne. Have you ever thought about us long term? Where we'd live? Month 8, I proposed. I found a note she'd left on the counter once. Probably forgot about it. Her handwriting. Visa timeline, married by October, apply December, approval by September. I proposed in October. We applied in December. Then I looked at another pattern. Our intimacy timeline. Month 0 to 6 in Melbourne, 3 to 4 times per week. Month 6 to 12, 2 to 3 times per week. Month 12 to 18, visa still pending, twice per week. Month 18, visa approved, once per week. Month 19 to 24, once every 2 weeks, duty sex. Month 24, PR submitted, 0. Week after, I don't owe you sex. The correlation was undeniable. Sunday morning. I went for a walk, ended up at a cafe in Carlton, sat there with a long black for over an hour. There was a couple at the next table. She was laughing at something he said, leaning in close. The easy kind of intimacy, what we used to have, what I thought we had. Everything clicked. She needed me for the visa, affectionate, sexual, grateful. Temporary visa secured, affection decreased. PR application submitted, intimacy ban. Met Rachel's crew, learned the language to justify it. This wasn't about feminism or boundaries. This was a power play. She got what she needed. Rachel's group taught her she'd settled, that she could do better, that she should make me earn her. The intimacy ban was a test. Will he beg, chase, grovel? I thought about the group dinner, her laughing while they humiliated me. I thought about train them young. I thought about everyone telling me how lucky I was, and I realized I'd been so busy feeling grateful she chose me, I never asked if I should have chosen her. I sat there until my coffee went cold. I wasn't angry. Anger would mean I still cared about changing her mind. I was just done. If she wanted autonomy, complete control, she'd get it. Complete autonomy. I'd become the perfect, respectful roommate. No initiation, not sex, not affection, not conversation, not emotional labor. No date planning, no "how was your day?" no compliments. Let's see how empowering it feels when I stop trying. That night, I came home. She was on the couch. I said hi, went to my laptop, started researching meal prep and new gyms. She glanced over, confused. Usually after fights, I'd try to smooth things over. Not tonight. I made dinner, for myself. Ate in my room. She knocked around 10. You okay? Yeah, fine, just tired. You seem weird. Just respecting your boundaries. She didn't know how to respond. I joined a serious gym, not the boutique place where Lena and Rachel did Pilates, an actual lifting gym. Hired a trainer, Craig, ex-rugby player, 6 a.m. sessions before work. Meal prep on Sundays. I'd been eating whatever was convenient for years. Now I was tracking macros. At home, polite, functional, nothing more. She seemed relieved at first. Told Rachel on another call I overheard, "He's finally giving me space. It's working." Week 4, I dropped 8 kilos. Craig had me on a push-pull leg split. My clothes were getting baggy. My mate Dan noticed, "Mate, you look good. What's the story?" Told him I was focusing on myself. He knew about Lena's behavior. I'd vented after the group dinner. He nodded. About time. Reconnected with my old rugby crew. Started going to their weekend climbs at a rock gym in Collingwood. Hadn't seen these guys in over a year. Lena had always found excuses. Posted a group photo on Instagram. 6 of us, including 2 women from the climbing community. Sweaty, smiling, chalk on our hands. Lena saw it, didn't say anything, but I noticed her scrolling through the comments. Kate, one of the climbers. "Great having you back, Mark." Same time next week? Week 7, my company's quarterly mixer. Lena came as my +1 for appearances. She'd posted about it. Date night with my hubby. At home, we'd barely spoken in a week. Sophie from accounting approached while I was talking to colleagues. "Mark, oh my God, you look amazing. What's your secret?" I laughed. "Just been hitting the gym." "It's working. Seriously, you should give me some tips." Friendly, professional. Lena's smile went stiff. In the Uber home, Sophie was pretty flirty. Was she? Didn't notice? You didn't shut it down. Why would I? She was being friendly. "You're married." "So are you. Doesn't stop you from going out 3 times a week." Silence the rest of the ride. Week 8. She came into the living room wearing the dress, the anniversary dress, the one she knew I loved. "Want to watch something together?" I was reading. "Sure." She sat close. The scent of her perfume, the expensive one. Halfway through the episode, she touched my arm. Casual, testing. I gently moved it. "Just respecting your boundary." She pulled back. "I didn't mean you could never touch me." "You said you don't owe me access to your body. I agree. I don't want to pressure you." "You're twisting my words." "Am I? I'm literally just doing what you asked." She left the room. Week 9. She escalated. Came to bed in lingerie. The black set I'd bought her for her birthday. I was reading a book on training. She posed by the doorway. Notice anything? I looked up. She looked incredible. 2 months without sex, and my wife was standing there looking like that. I felt the pull. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Yeah, looks nice. Good night? Rolled over, kept reading. Took me 20 minutes to actually focus on the words. My heart was pounding. 2 months without her, and she looked like that. But I'd rather be alone and respect myself than beg someone who weaponized intimacy. She stood there for 10 seconds, then grabbed her phone, went to the bathroom. I heard her FaceTime Rachel, whispering, "He didn't even react. I'm in the black set and he just rolled over." Rachel's voice. "He's manipulating you, trying to make you feel insecure. Classic tactic. Don't give in." But I heard doubt in Lena's voice. What if he's actually done? Men don't just move on from women who look like you. Trust me. Week 10. My sister Jenny flew in from Sydney for work. Asked us both to dinner. At the restaurant, Jenny was warm but observant. Lena was on her phone half the dinner. When Lena went to the bathroom, Jenny leaned in. "Is everything okay with you two?" "Honestly, no, but I'm handling it." "You look good though, better than last time I saw you. You seem lighter." "I feel lighter." When Lena came back, Jenny tried. "Lena, you guys seem distant. Everything all right?" Lena, defensive. "We're fine. Just busy, giving each other space." "Space is healthy. Just don't take him for granted. Mark's a good man." Lena laughed it off. "I know what I have." Jenny's look said, "Do you?" I'd started posting more. Gym progress photos, climbing videos, group dinners. Lena started checking my Instagram obsessively. I could tell because she'd reference things. "Who's Kate?" "Just someone from the climbing group." "She comments on a lot of your posts." "Does she?" One night, she went through my followers. 30 plus new people. Half women. Comments. "Looking great." "Glow up Zen." She spiraled. Emergency brunch with Rachel's crew. Came back tipsy, agitated. Week 12, night. She cornered me in the kitchen. "Why aren't you fighting for us?" Calmly putting away dishes. "What do you mean? You just gave up. You're supposed to try." "Try to do what?" "Fix this. Fight for me." "Lena, you said you don't owe me anything." I agreed. "I realized I don't owe you my effort anymore." Tearing up. "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" Silence. No answer that didn't admit it was a test. Week 13. She grabbed the mail one afternoon, heard her make a small noise. She was staring at an envelope, face pale. "What is it?" She handed it to me. Department of Home Affairs. Subclass 801. Partner visa application. We require additional evidence of your genuine and continuing relationship. Please provide within 60 days. Recent photographs together, last 6 months. Evidence of shared social activities. Statutory declarations from friends/family. Evidence of shared finances. Evidence of cohabitation. You and your partner will be required to attend separate interviews. She was shaking. "This doesn't make sense. We're married." Being married doesn't mean the relationship is genuine and continuing, but we submitted everything. From 2 years ago. They want recent evidence. She looked around. No couple photos on display. My stuff mostly in the spare room. We hadn't taken a photo together in 4 months. "We can just take some photos. Go on dates. It's fine." "Is it?" "Mark, I need this PR." "I know. So you'll help?" I said nothing. She tried to fix it casually at first. "Let's go to that restaurant you like, for photos." "I'm climbing that night." "Cancel it." "Why?" "Us, Mark." "There is no us, Lena. You made that clear." She tried joint finances. "Immigration wants shared bank accounts. We should merge ours." "I separated them 3 months ago." "You didn't tell me." "You didn't notice." She tried the bedroom angle. "You need to move your stuff back to the master." "Why?" "Immigration might inspect." You kicked me out 6 months ago. I didn't kick you out. You said you needed space. I gave it to you. Week 3. The immigration form required 2 friends or family to write legal statements. She called my best mate Dan. Hey Dan, I need you to write a letter about how great Mark and I are together. Silence. Lena, I'd have to be honest in a legal document. Mark and I were just talking about how unhappy he's been. She hung up, tried my mom. My mom, carefully. Sweetheart, I can't lie to the government. You two haven't seemed connected lately. Week 4. What are you going to tell them in the interview? The truth? Which is? That we're married on paper, but don't have a relationship anymore. You can't say that. Why not? It's true. Because I'll lose my PR. That's not my problem. After everything we've been through. After everything you've put me through, you mean? Week 5. She tried everything, crying it, please, Mark, I'll lose everything. You should have thought about that before you decided to train me. Her face went white. You heard that? Yep. Anger. If you don't help me, I'll make the divorce hell. Go ahead and file. Saves me the lawyer fees. Seduction. She came out of the shower in a towel, let it slip, calculated. She still looked incredible. Lena, I'm not doing this. Her voice soft. Mark, come on. Remember Singapore? Remember how good we were? We were never good. You needed a visa. I was useful. Week 6. Desperate now. That's not fair. I loved you. I do love you. Maybe you loved what I could give you. You're really going to let me fail? Lose my PR? Leave Australia? I'm not letting anything happen. You created this. You stopped being a wife. You humiliated me. You banned me from touching you. You treated me like a trained dog. Rachel got in my head. Rachel didn't make you laugh when they called me low effort. Rachel didn't write that visa timeline note. Her face crumpled. You found that? I remembered it. Week 7. One more angle. What if I change? Therapy. What if... Lena, I don't believe you. And even if you did change, I don't want you anymore. Full sobbing. How can you just stop loving me? I didn't stop loving you. I stopped letting you use me. Week 8. She withdrew the PR application herself. Couldn't face the interview. Couldn't manufacture evidence. I filed for divorce. 12 months minimum to finalize. She can find a work visa sponsor, student visa, or go back to the Philippines. Not my problem anymore. 4 months later, studio apartment in Fitzroy. Small, but mine. Down 17 kilos, visible abs for the first time since my 20s. Still climbing twice a week. Casually seeing Kate. Nothing serious, just getting to know each other. She laughs at my jokes, asks about my day, touches my arm when we talk. Last week, she asked what I was reading. Actually listened to the answer. Small thing. But Lena never did that. Makes me feel wanted without manipulation. Got promoted, senior consultant, raise came with it. Post on Instagram occasionally. Don't check Lena's profile anymore. Realized last week I hadn't thought about her in 5 days. That felt like freedom. Lena's still in the old apartment. I'm paying rent until the lease ends. Felt right, even though she doesn't deserve it. She posted a thirst trap last week. Full glam, caption, new chapter. Comments thirsty strangers and her actual friends asking, you okay, babe? Her family keeps asking when I'm visiting. She hasn't told them. Rachel's group still meets, but the dynamic shifted. Emma's back with her ex. Jess is seeing someone. Rachel's on dating apps, complaining about low-value men. Heard Lena's on Hinge, can't swipe. Everyone feels like a downgrade. She texted last week. Long paragraph starting with I've been thinking. I saw the notification. Didn't open it. Deleted it unread. Saturday morning. Rock climbing gym. Work in a route I've been projecting for 3 weeks. Tough one. Overhanging. Requires commitment. Kate's belaying. I make the final move. Clip the anchor. Lower down. She's grinning. Yes, that was sick. Breathing hard, smiling. Couldn't have done it without a solid belay. We grab coffee after. She asks about my week, tells me about hers. Conversation flows. My phone buzzes. Lena's name. Another text. Preview. Can we please talk? I put the phone face down. Kate notices. Everything okay? Yeah, everything's good. And I mean it.